You're one of the most wanted 18-year-old talents in European football. Real Madrid want you, Man United want you, Liverpool want you, and your name is Leny Yoro. Not your average teenager, far from it. Let me tell you what makes him such a special talent, why United are willing to spend north of 50 million euros on him, and the secrets behind the 18-year-old defensive prodigy. In modern football, attackers often steal the spotlight. But one of the most in-demand players this summer is a young centre-back. Leny Yoro, at just 18, looks set to become the next world-class modern centre-back. But what makes this teenager so special that he's got 3 of the 5 biggest clubs in the world competing for his signature? To understand, we need to dive into the numbers, analyse his playing style, and explore what he could bring to United specifically. Let's start with a hugely important one for United fans. How good is Yoro with the ball at his feet? Among all under-21 centre-backs in Europe's top 5 leagues, where do you think Yoro ranks in terms of passes made? Top 10? Top 5? Try number 1. That's right. Yoro leads all under-21 centre-backs in passes made. But it's not just about quantity. When it comes to passing accuracy, Yoro again tops the charts. This isn't just good, it's top tier. And here's where it gets really interesting. Yoro completed just over 1,700 passes for Lille in Liga last season. That's not just the most by a teenager in Liga, it's the most by a teenager across all of Europe's big 5 leagues last season. Now you might be thinking, sure, he's good in the ball, but what about his core defensive skills? The defender has to defend first. Can he win headers? Can he win a tackle? Yoro ranks 2nd among under-21 centre-backs in percentage of aerial duels won. He's also 4th for tackles made. This isn't a one-trick pony we're talking about. Yoro is a well-rounded defensive powerhouse in the making. An 18-year-old with a super set of fundamentals and so much room for improvement and development. But let's dig a little deeper. What makes Yoro really stand out isn't just his individual skills, it's how he uses them to benefit his team. His ability to cover wide areas is crucial and allows the right back to jump out and join the press because Yoro can protect against channel balls, track runners, and cover the space left when others engage. Think about that for a moment. Now, 18, Yoro isn't just focusing on his own job. He's reading the game, anticipating moves, and covering for his teammates. This level of tactical awareness is rare in defenders 5 years his senior. And he's already doing that at 18 because it's natural to him. It's subconscious. You don't have to coach it. Yoro has been acting as a cover defender for Lille and he's excelling in that role. His centre-back partner acted as the aggressive stopper and contested the 13th most duels in Liga last season. And who was there sweeping up, providing cover? It was Yoro. Now let's talk about Yoro's actual approach to defending. He wasn't the most frequent dueler last season, but he did have a great success rate when he did decide to engage. His style is more controlled, more patient, doesn't rush in recklessly. Instead, he pushes his opponent to make mistakes. He uses his body correctly. Does it sound familiar? This patient, calculated approach is reminiscent of some of the best defenders in the game. Look, Virgil van Dijk, he was famous for it. It's not to say Yoro is anywhere near that level yet, and I'm not, because he isn't, but his ability to read the game, to know when to engage and when to hold back, the understanding and timing is a natural strength of Yoro's game, and that's something many defenders need to be taught. In terms of his other specific strengths, what makes him stand out from other promising young defenders? Well, if you're talking passing, he's an accurate passer. He's in the 94th and 95th percentiles for short and medium passes. His composure on the ball is pivotal to his game. In an area where centre-backs are expected to start attacks, this ability of Yoro is invaluable. Secondly, he can carry the ball. He's not just comfortable on it. He excels with it at his feet. His long stride and ball control allows him to go past players with ease. He has a take-on success rate of 72%, puts him in the 75th percentile, and he also performs 55 carries per 90 minutes, ranking him in the 88th percentile. Good with the ball at his feet, good with his passing, good with his duels, good covering channels. You can see why people are excited about Yoro. In terms of more defensive skills, we've already mentioned his aerial prowess, but it's worth emphasizing. Despite not engaging in aerial duels as frequently as some other defenders, when Yoro does go up for a header, he wins it around about 64% of the time. That makes him the 2nd best aerial dueler among centre-backs under 21 in Europe's top 5 leagues. And remember, he's 18. His frame is going to fill out. And when he does, that number is only going to keep increasing. And then there's his channel defending. Yoro's patience and timing in these situations really are fantastic. He often opts to delay the attacker rather than rushing in to win the ball. But when he does make a challenge, his long legs and excellent tackling technique make him highly effective. Now you might be thinking, right, no one's perfect. Dude, he's 18. No one's perfect, especially at that age. And despite his good underlying numbers, he probably needs to become more dominant, more willing to engage in aerial duels. And as I said, when he fills out that frame, it's going to be a big part of his development. It's going to help him, because if he comes to the Premier League, that could be a challenge. He'll also need to become more progressive with his passing. While his current passing stats are impressive, taking that next step to become a real threat with his distribution and those sort of Lisandro Martinez line-breaking passes, that's going to elevate his game even further. But here's the thing, right? These aren't fundamental flaws. They're areas for improvement. Aspects of his game that will naturally develop as he gains more experience and physically matures and he's coached. And to be as well-rounded as he is, I think that's what makes him a diamond. So why are Man United so keen on Yoro? Well, imagine pairing him with Lisandro Martinez. Martinez's aggressive, confrontational style, combined with Yoro's patient, covering approach, could be a perfect match. Add to that Yoro's height and speed, which complements Martinez's shortcomings in those areas, and you can see how that could be a potentially world-class, balanced partnership in the making. Perhaps the most impressive stat on Yoro from last season is this, actually. Yoro is the only under-23 centre-back in the top 7 leagues to rank higher than the 90th percentile for both aerial win rate and also forward pass completion. In two crucial skills for a modern-day centre-back, winning aerial duels and distributing the ball effectively, Yoro is in the top 10% among all players under 23 in the top 7 leagues in the world. That's not just good. That's not just promising. You're talking about a player who might have the ability to go on to become a generational talent. Hence why Real Madrid, United and Liverpool all want him. As I said, 3 out of the 5 biggest clubs in world football want him. And that really says it all. One big question does remain. Is Yoro worth the 50 million plus that United are reportedly willing to spend? We'll put it this way. In Yoro, United would just be signing a centre-back. They'd be investing in a potential cornerstone of their defence. Think about the great centre-backs of the past decade, the likes of Ramos, Silva, Varane. These are defenders who didn't just stop attacks, they initiated them. They were leaders on the pitch, they read the game, they organised their teammates, and they stepped up in crucial moments. And Yoro, he does have the potential to be that kind of player. You can see the hallmarks of his game already. That combination of defensive solidity, his power in the air, his ball playing ability, at just 18, with so much more room to grow, yeah, you can see why there's hype. As good as Yoro is already, the most exciting thing isn't about what he is now, it's about what he could become. Because he's still developing and still learning, and he's already performing at an excellent level in one of Europe's top leagues. If he's worth the 50 million, well, only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, whoever signs him will be getting a defender, maybe unlike any other at that age right now in football. A player who could be the gold standard for centre-backs over the next 15 years. Somebody who people compare to as he continues to develop. And for United, a club looking to rebuild and reclaim their place at top of world football, Yoro could be more than just a signing. He could be a statement of intent, a foundation. That being said, if he did join, I'd expect him to want to join Real Madrid in 3 to 4 years. And for some United fans, they wouldn't want to sign him just for the fact that they know he would want to join Real Madrid in the future. Not me, though. I think you could potentially sign Yoro, have 3-4 great years out of him, and then he moves on to Real Madrid for a massive amount of money that you then reinvest. I don't think it would go down as a bad signing. Keep your eyes on Yoro, because whether he ends up at Old Trafford, the Bernabeu, or somewhere else entirely, one thing is certain. We're watching the early stages of what could be a remarkable career. And in a few years' time, you might just look back at the summer and say, I knew he was special. I knew he was going to be one of the greats, because he certainly has got all the fundamentals.